Hello once again, witchy people. Today is tag day. Yes, I found a tag I really wanted to do a little while ago, and I saw it on Beanbag Hagwag's channel, and the hashtag was from Abby the Witch, I think, originally. Yeah, Abby the Witch, whose channel I think is called Sanctuary Satanica, and the hashtag is More Than a Witch. Now, I haven't watched fully any other video about this because I didn't kind of want to have my answers be influenced by other people's answers. I'd rather just have my take on it, even if it's wrong. Okay, so thank you, Abby, for this, and go and check out Abby's original video. I will leave it in the link below, as well as Beanbag Hagwag Patricia's video. I will leave it in the links below. So, question number 1. What's your name, and are there any stories or meanings connected to your name? Okay, so obviously I have 2 names. I have my birth name and my craft name. So my birth name, oh gosh, this is so embarrassing. If there is anyone out there named Shalene, which is my name, chances are you are probably named after me. And as far as I know, there's been about 9 people named directly, named just because of me. And then obviously they've had friends who've named their children after them, etc, etc, etc. But yeah, and they've all been girls as far as I know. However, and I think I've told this story before, the original, my dad denies this, by the way, but where the name Shalene originally came from is the film Cat Ballou. Now, in the film Cat Ballou, Lee Marvin played 2 roles, and one of those roles was a drunken cowboy called Kid Shalene. Like I said, my dad denies it, but you know, it was, I think the film came out the year before I was born. So anyway, craft name AmberMoon. Quite simply, the only meaning behind it is because I know it's not a stone, but amber is one of my favourite things. I tend to like wearing amber, so I've got 3 different colours of amber in my ring, amber earrings, that sort of thing. And moon, because I've always been fascinated by the moon my whole life. Number 2, how old are you? Now, is this mentally, physically, emotionally? And of course then there's the whole, how witchy old are you? So how old am I? I am in 2 days. 2 days I will be 54 years young. How long have I been a witch? All of those 54 years, even if I didn't associate growing up with who I was being a witch. It just, I've never been any different. Do you see what I mean? Emotionally, I think I'm very much younger. Physically, I'm very, 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 very much older. Okay, do you use astrology, Western or real sky, and what is your big 3? What are your big 3? No idea. So do I use astrology? Sort of. And not necessarily Western or astrology. I'm guessing real sky is when you look at how the planets are aligned and everything else and how that's affecting you day to day. Real time. I'm guessing that's what it is. I don't know. Astrology. Do I read my star signs in the paper? No, I don't. Because I don't think that you can put 1/12 of people are going to have this same experience, although you can argue that 1/12 of the people who read it might have that experience. But of course, there are so many different, ways of astrology. There's Hindu astrology and Chinese astrology. So no, I don't really, and then if your astrology charts, you've got your moon chart, your sun chart, natal charts and everything. So no, I don't, although I do believe there's something to it, because if you think about it this way, if the moon can affect how we feel, and it's been proven that it does, because it affects the tides as well, then is it possible, could it be possible that other heavenly bodies, other astral bits can affect you the same way? Quite possibly. Even if it takes a while for that, disruption, if you like, to reach us. So anyway, that's my views on astrology. Not necessarily astrology, but I do think there's something to how the planets are aligned and everything else. Okay, question 4. Did you grow up in a religious household? What religion? Did that influence your current spiritual path? So, okay, my mum, everyone knows this, my mum is a born-again Christian. My father was Jewish. My uncle was a Buddhist for a while. We've had, my great-grandparents were some of the first Salvationists. I'm trying to think, my cousin by marriage is a Methodist lay preacher. So yes, we have a lot of religion and religious influences within our family. However, I was raised in a very sort of hippie way, sort of tree hugging and being free and not being... My parents did not in any way put their religion onto us. I mean, I went to Sunday school as a child, but that was because I wanted to, because my friends were going. It wasn't necessary, and I think it was a good way for my parents to say, go away, leave us alone for the weekend. So I did go to Sunday school for a while, but that, you could say that it did influence me in that... Yeah, you can hear the dogs. It's because I closed the door. They're out of the room and they don't like it. So yeah, it did influence me in that some of the stories that were told, biblical stories, I found to be... They weren't in my heart. They weren't... I didn't... I didn't find that closeness with any of the stories. I didn't feel like this was part of my ancestry and my history. So being brought up in this hippie way, this quite a free way, I mean, it's like I was a barefoot hippie child who used to hug trees and try to catch raindrops on my tongue. So yes, it did influence my current spiritual path, because it's kind of like what I am. I still do it now. If it rains, I'm happy to be outside, and you'll see me like this, which is daft. Okay, so like I said, lots of religions within the family, but none of them were taught to me as such, because my father especially didn't want us to be brought up in a religion that we decided we couldn't sort of meld with as we got older. So we weren't baptised, we weren't christened, anything like that. Because he wanted us to use our minds and find our own path in life. So, number 5, what are you manifesting for your future? At the moment, I'm not manifesting a lot, to be honest. Simply because I think there's too much going on here, as many people know. Maybe I should come back to this in 6 months' time and see what's going on. I am trying to manifest strength and calmness and yet proficiency and caring and being strong enough to look after my mother-in-law. It sounds very selfless. It isn't. It really isn't. I just want things to be good, you know. So I guess, what are you manifesting for your future? Positivity. I'm trying to manifest positivity. So there we go. Okay, number 6. Do you have a favourite season? What time of year makes you feel most authentically you? Any time, really. Autumn is my favourite season, although my favourite time of year specifically has to be Yule. So, because I like the whole aspect of Christmas. Yes, Christmas. Not in the Christ Mass way, but that time of year that most people celebrate, well, most people around me celebrate as Christmas. I love that tacky, tinsel, gift-giving, whole paraphernalia of it. But I also love that cold time of year where you light the fire and you snuggle up. But that happens all through autumn. But I love autumn because you can walk through a forest and the leaves are crunching under your feet, and, you know, the leaves are all colours of purple and orange and golden and yellow, and I love that. So autumn is my favourite season, but specifically the time of year, it probably has to be Yule because it brings families together. Yeah. And nothing makes me feel authentically me, or should I say everything makes me feel authentically me. All I have to say is I'm not a keen lover of summer. I don't like the heat. I don't like basking in the sun, and it's simply because when you're very, very hot and the sun is blazing, apart from sort of like sitting in a bath full of ice cubes, there's not a lot you can do. You're going to be hot and sweaty and horrible. Whereas if it's really, really cold outside, you can wrap yourself up in a blanket and get warm. So I don't feel like I'm ever myself when it's really hot and summery. Okay, number 7. Do you have a favourite colour? Do you feel this is your aura colour? If not, what do you think your aura colour is? Okay, so my favourite colour, I don't really have one. I love green and purple and lovely burgundy colours and black and greys and mustards sometimes. But yeah, mostly green, purple, burgundy and black. Those are really... do you feel this is your aura colour? No. Now, I have had my aura read on several different occasions, and it's come up slightly different every time. So I don't know. The most common colour that's come up with, because I've had green, blue, indigo, violet and even white, but mostly it's been indigo and violet. So is that my aura colours? I don't know. You tell me. So there you go. Number 8, do you have a job, career or lifestyle that makes money or helps support you and / or your family in any way? What do you do? Nothing. I don't have a job or a career. Obviously I have a lifestyle. Everyone has a lifestyle. But it doesn't support me in any way. The thing is, to make money and to be able to support yourself being a witch, which is, you know, what I would like to do, you have to spend a lot of money in the first place, and you need a lot of time and dedication to just do that. And I just think if I spent my whole life trying to make money out of witchcraft, would I grow to dislike it in some way? Would I grow to resent having to do so much to earn money for something that I am and that I love to do? I don't know. So no, I don't have anything that supports me. All I do is support my husband, who goes out to work and earns all the money to support me. Yeah, so financially, no, there's nothing I do. Emotionally, physically. Yes, there are things I do, to help my husband when he's having a bad day, but I don't actually do anything myself to support the family. I make dinner sometimes. Okay, question number 9. What are some things that make you unique and individual? I don't know. What makes you unique and individual? I am me. No one's been raised exactly the same way I have, or know exactly the same things I have. It's unquantifiable, isn't it? What makes you unique is just you. In a simple answer, that's it. I could say, people say, oh yes, Miss Lizzie calls me her very PC friend, because I'm very politically correct in a good way. Okay. I'm not. I'm just respectful, and I'm very careful of what I say to and about other people. But that doesn't make me unique. That's something that many, many, many people do. Maybe hearing ghosts, seeing ghosts in spirit, maybe that makes me unique, but it doesn't, because there are lots of other people that also have that gift or burden, however you like to see it. So, I think, what makes you individual and what makes you unique is just being you. And for me, it's just being me. Okay, number 10. What advice would you give your younger self? Put down that bloody cake. I'm kidding. Nothing, because I love my life. I may not like who I am, physically or whatever, but I like who I am for other people. And if I gave advice to my younger self in order to change, then I wouldn't like that. I think the only thing I would say to my younger self is, you have to live those bad times. You have to go through everything you do to be the person you are. And the person you are, I'm not going to say I'm always happy, because I don't think happiness is the aim of life. I think it is to be content. And being contented is much more important than being happy. So yes, to my younger self, I would say, live through those bad times. You will get through it, and things will turn out good for you. And the last question, number 11, favourite hobbies, interests or activities outside of witchcraft? I don't have any. I like reading, but I read a lot of witchcraft books. Okay, yes, I do have a bit of obsession with Jack the Ripper, and some unsolved murders, cold cases. Yeah, I think that's the only thing. I was talking in my last bit about Frances Glessner Lee, and yeah, so dolls' houses. But even in my doll's house, because I do make dolls' houses in 1/24th scale or 1/12th scale, and one of the projects I have, one is a gypsy witch caravan, and I know you shouldn't say gypsy, but some people are not offended by the word gypsy. My ancestors on the Italian side were gypsies and didn't mind being called gypsies. We were also clowns, but there you go. And another one of my projects is I have a lantern, which I'm going to make a witch scene inside. So even my other hobbies and interests are still connected with me. So yes, outside of witchcraft, I don't. It's kind of included in everything I do. So there you go. That's the 11 questions of the hashtag more than a witch. And I don't think I am. Not more than a witch. I am just a witch. And I don't mean that in a derogatory or awful way. I'm very happy to be just a witch. Like I said, I'm also a mother. I have fur babies too. I'm a wife. I'm a daughter. But I am, with all those things, still a witch. So more than a witch? No, but that's okay. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I will be back very soon. Bye for now, witchy people.